getting old and blind. That I was going to ad-lib all this. Well, wow, that was amazing, wasn't it? They did do it again. So let's get into Thank you, all of you, so much for telling us that wonderful, amazing story of Joseph. This is your third performance in 2 days. Now, seasoned actors would find that very difficult. But you've pulled it off magnificently, so congratulations. I know that it meant that you've put your hand up for some very, very hard work and committed to lots of new skills that you've learnt, singing and dancing. The big thing you've learnt more of is teamwork. You absolutely looked after each other well. So thank you for everything that you've learned and that you've showed us, both in the story of Jacob and in the way that you told that story. On behalf of this very appreciative audience tonight, I want to also thank our super talented, generous and dedicated staff who made this musical possible this year. 2 years ago, as you may remember, Assumption staged Peter Pan the musical in the Mandurah Catholic College Gymnasium through the generosity of the then Principal, Mr. Manda. Our Peter Pan musical was a very hard act to follow, but Mrs. Karen Ockwell and Mrs. Margaret Manda have certainly been equal to that task. Thank you, Karen and Mark, for facilitating this wonderful experience of our very first musical in our very own school hall, and you've certainly set the bar for future biennial musicals here at Assumption. Ms. Christy Signorelli and Mrs. Grace Lazarou, to our technicians for sound and lighting, for Mr. Newton O'Day and Mr. Martin Tucker, for the stunning backdrops, our artist in residence here at Assumption, Mrs. Pat Hayes. Hours of costuming, Mrs. Margaret Manda, and we also acknowledge the Murray Music and Drama Club. Also thanks to Mr. John Woods, who's here tonight, for constructing the backdrop frame and the props and lots of other work behind the scenes. And to all our wonderful, generous and committed Assumption staff, every single person has had something to do with helping Joseph to happen. And this is what a generous, dedicated staff can do. Assisting Assumption children to stretch and grow and find out what it is inside them that they can bring out and share with us. How they can blossom in this environment, supportive learning environment that we have here at Assumption Catholic Primary School. And thanks also to the wonderful support of the parents of every single person on this stage and a few others in the background as well. Because without your support, your encouragement as coaches, as clothing and makeup artists and taxi drivers around the after school and weekend rehearsals, this wouldn't have happened. I'd like to ask some representatives from the cast forward, and I would like to ask the directors of our production forward, Mrs. Ockwell, Mrs. Manda, Ms. Signorelli and Mrs. Lazarou to come forward, please. From the cast and script. The 2011 Assumption Catholic Primary School production of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat has been a roaring success. So roll on. Roll on 2013 and let's see what we do then. Safe home everyone, and may God continue to be blessing on all.